Welcome back to Humankind, where today we receive Chapter 2 of the Dia de los Muertos event with 3 new challenges to complete. And alongside introducing them to you, I'm also going to introduce some other tips and tricks that we learned along the way, inspired by these challenges, so stay tuned. But anyway, back to these challenges. There are 3. We have to, as the Mayans or the Aztecs, sacrifice 30 populations to complete a construction. We have to, as any military culture, use our Iron Reserves ability 4 times within an era. And then we also have to enact 50 civics across multiple games. As I said, I'm going to take you through each one of these individually in this video, and then also reflect on some broader tips and experiences that I had along the way completing these live. Anyway, let's discuss the first one, which is actually the second one. It makes sense, trust me, bear with me. It's using this ability, the Iron Reserves ability. Any militarist culture can use it. Makes sense that you play, therefore, as the Aztecs, because we're going to need them for the other challenge. Basically, you can use it once per turn on a city, and then you can repeat on a different city next turn, a different city the turn after, and loop back through. What it does is it draws 4 population out from the city and creates these units. The strength and versatility of the unit depends on which technologies you have unlocked. In the early games, it's largely the wall technologies, but by and large, you are summoning your peasants out of your city, where they'll behave just like any other normal melee unit. For the purpose of this challenge, all you have to do is, within the same era, use this ability 4 times. So you need 4 cities, or 2 cities with 8, however you want to play it. You need 16 population that you can use this ability on who are within your cities to summon within one era, and that's the key. So don't advance through the next era, right? Just use the ability. But some of the things that I learned along the way were actually even more useful. So if you're playing as the Aztecs, is an even better example, and you've got +2 movement, when you summon these, they have incredible movement. At 6 movement, they summon in a stack of 4, so collectively they'll have over 100 combat strength, which makes them stronger than a lot of marauding tribes, makes them great for sniping cities on low population, defending cities, or waging war. They're really useful for transferring population as well. More on that at the end of the video. Let's talk now about the second challenge, which is actually the first. As the Mayans or the Aztecs, who we've just been playing as, sacrifice over 30 population to complete a construction. There's a little bit of confusion around this one because the Aztecs have an ability called this, Sacrifice Population, which is unlocked when you build the Aztecs' emblematic quarter, this one, the Sacrificial Altar. Now, this ability, Sacrifice Population, to gain 20 stability by booting out 1 person, is not what the challenge is talking about when it talks about sacrificing population. No. It is, of course, talking about this little -5 here, reflecting you shooting people out of your city to construct buildings. Yep, this -5, okay? That is the button you hit to expand population or exchange people for buildings. It's not pretty, don't think about the details. Basically what you need to do while you're playing as either the Aztecs or the Mayans is exchange 30 people for buildings. Not this sacrifice population. Don't focus on that. Focus back on sending people out of your cities. Now, through a little bit of playtesting, not using that, but going back out and using my 5 people Makers Quarter one, I've discovered that it does not all need to be at once. You don't need to exchange all 30 out at once for 1 building. You can split it across playing as the Mayans or the Aztecs and across multiple different constructions. Now let's move on to the third one, and again just to reflect on the third challenge, it's Civil Evolution. Enact 50 civics across multiple games. Now this one, because it's across multiple games, you're not as sort of pinned or ring-fenced to doing it within such a time constraint, but still you want to be efficient with how you achieve this, right? You don't want to be enacting 5 civics a game and playing 10 games on a slow speed. So let's go through some tips and tricks that will be useful for this, but also useful more broadly for getting civics and being good at humankind. Ming in the early modern era. Take a look at that. Grand Secretariat. -25% cost of enacting and cancelling civics. Boom. The best discount you will get on civics by playing a culture in Humankind, and you get bonuses to your influence generation as well, because you're playing it as an aesthete culture with a great district and an even better trait ability. Now, the other way to do it, the relatively easy pickup, is not within the society screen. Nope, it's within the religious screen. Here, undertake pilgrimage. Again, another additive, by the way, minus 25% cost of enacting civics on the Empire or cancelling them. If you pick up that, you pick up Ming, you've got a wonderful base discount on your civics, and you can generally at least hopefully get one of these, even if you have to pick up a foreign religion to do it. Now, also, don't forget when you're trading resources, this is important for keeping your stability high. So you should either be conquering to get more resources or jumping into a trade menu like this one and exchanging with your pals or foes. Why? Well, to remind you, when you take a look at stability on a city, you want to be within that top 10% settled, because that puts your influence generation at 2 per person. You can see here this territory is currently generating 56. That is because it is considered stable. That is 90% stability or higher, and that's more broadly reflective then of the population and the districts within that territory that collectively come together to give me even more influence to buy civics. And that's how you do the 3 challenges. And in a nutshell, that is how you'll complete Chapter 2 of Humankind's limited time event. The very first limited time event for Humankind. And by the way, before I go on with the last Extra for Experts tips part of this video, I should give a shout out to Humankind because they have been dominated. God, they've been nominated for Best Simulation or Strategy Game of the Year. So go them. I saw it on Twitter today. I was very excited for them. You should follow me on Twitter if you haven't already. But go Humankind. Anyway, back to this video. I think that one of the biggest takeaway lessons for me was just how good the Iron Reserves ability was. It was really powerful. Being able to summon 4 population like this and march them out of a city, even if you just do exactly like what I'm going to do here, march them towards Popayetu, shift-click, disband. You've transferred 4 populations very, very easily, who you can then redistribute, right, around if you need to fill jobs, or expand if you need to hurry along a construction. I think the overall versatility of them as well as explorers and conquerors was equally surprising and shocking for me. I didn't quite realize just how good they are, and actually I think probably you should expect another video from me in the future where I delve into it in a little more detail and really give them a test drive. But the takeaway lesson from me, much like the first chapter of this event, was, hey, there's a cool mechanic in this game that I didn't really try before, and now I did. Thanks, Humankind, for throwing me into a situation where I was forced to play a militarist culture and use that trait. Really, really wonderful. I love the diversity of play, and I think it was absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much for watching. And my god, bombers are good. I'll see you next time.